Imagine a world where the fastest you could travel was on the back of a horse, and the only way to communicate over long distances was through a messenger on foot or on horseback. This might sound like something out of a fairy tale, but it was the reality for people living in medieval Europe. In this world, the simple act of sending a message could take days, and traveling from one city to another was a journey fraught with danger and uncertainty. This essay will take you on a journey through the lives of people in medieval Europe, focusing on child rearing, daily life, and the challenges they faced. In medieval Europe, life was tough, especially for children. Books of advice on child rearing were rare. Parents didn't have the luxury of reading parenting blogs or attending workshops. Instead, they relied on tradition and the few manuscripts that existed on etiquette, housewifery, and home remedies. These books might tell you how to make ink, poison for rats, or sand for hourglasses, but they wouldn't give you much guidance on how to care for a baby. It's hard to believe, but in a world where survival was a daily struggle, there wasn't much written about the basics of infant care. Despite the lack of parenting books, some advice did exist. For example, Bartholomew of England, a 13th century encyclopedist, wrote about the emotional value of breastfeeding. He believed that through breastfeeding, a mother could bond with her child, loving and caring for it tenderly. Another physician, Aldobrandino of Siena, advised frequent cleaning and changing for babies, 2 baths a day, and a diet of porridge made from bread, honey, and milk. He also emphasized the importance of playtime and unforced learning, suggesting that children should have time for sleep and fun. However, it's difficult to know how widely these humane teachings were followed, especially in a society where child mortality rates were shockingly high. For many medieval parents, the first 5 or 6 years of a child's life were a period of uncertainty. Babies and young children were often left to survive or die without much intervention. This might seem harsh to us today, but in a world where resources were limited and disease was rampant, parents couldn't afford to invest too much in a child who might not make it to adulthood. This casual attitude toward young children's lives might have had a profound psychological impact, shaping the way people viewed suffering and the value of human life. Despite the challenges, medieval children did have toys to play with. They had dolls, wooden knights, little animals made of baked clay, windmills, balls, and even simple seesaws and merry-go-rounds. These toys provided a sense of normalcy and joy in a world that was often harsh and unpredictable. Little boys in particular were known for their playful and carefree nature, always hungry and quick to laughter or tears. They resisted their mother's efforts to keep them clean and well-groomed, much like children today. For noble families, the upbringing of children was a bit different. Boys were typically raised by women until the age of 7, learning manners and the basics of reading and writing. At 8 or 9, they were sent to serve as pages in the castle of a neighboring lord. This was a rite of passage that prepared them for their future roles as knights. They learned to ride, fight, and hunt, and they were trained in the romantic skills of singing, dancing, and composing. They also received religious education from the castle's chaplain or a local abbey. At the age of 14 or 15, a noble boy became a squire. This was a crucial stage in his training, where he intensified his combat skills and took on more responsibilities. He learned to use a variety of weapons, understand heraldry, and assist his lord in various tasks, such as caring for his war horse and managing the castle's business. Book learning was less emphasized, but some young nobles did study geometry, law, and Latin, depending on their interests. Girls from noble families often received a more comprehensive education than boys. The church encouraged their education so that they could be better instructed in the faith and prepared for life in a nunnery, if their parents chose to dedicate them to the church. Noble girls learned to read and write in French and Latin, and they were taught music, astronomy, and basic medicine. They were also trained in the arts of running a household and managing a large estate, skills that would be essential if they were to take over their husband's responsibilities during his absence. Life in medieval Europe was shaped by a deep sense of religious and social order. The concept of fortune's wheel, which symbolized the unpredictable nature of life, was a common theme. People believed that one could be lifted up to great heights or plunged into despair at any moment, and this belief influenced their world view and behavior. Progress was not expected in this life. Instead, it was believed that true improvement would only come in the next world. The medieval world was also a world of superstition and magic. People believed in fairies, demons, and ghosts, and they often attributed natural phenomena to supernatural causes. For example, the flickering lights of marsh gas were thought to be fairies or goblins, and lightning strikes were seen as the work of a higher power. Magic and alchemy were widely practiced, with many people seeking the Philosopher's Stone, which was believed to turn base metals into gold and provide a cure for all ills. Despite the challenges, medieval society was also a place of innovation and progress. Scholars conducted experiments and observations, leading to advancements in fields like astronomy and natural science. The invention of eyeglasses and the manufacture of paper were significant developments that improved the quality of life for many people. The use of wind and water mills increased production and expanded human capacity, although this also led to deforestation and other environmental issues. Travel was a crucial part of medieval life, connecting people and ideas across vast distances. Messengers, whether on foot or on horseback, played a vital role in communication. Great nobles, kings, and merchants all employed their own messengers to keep them informed of events and to conduct business. The average day's journey on horseback was about 30 to 40 miles, but this could vary widely depending on the conditions. In emergencies, a skilled messenger could cover 100 miles a day with changes of horses, and the great merchant cities of Venice and Bruges had postal services that could deliver messages over 700 miles in just 7 days. In conclusion, medieval Europe was a world of contrasts, where the simple act of raising a child or sending a message could be a matter of life and death. Despite the challenges, people found ways to thrive, innovate, and connect with each other. The lives of children, from the poorest to the noblest, were shaped by a complex mix of tradition, superstition, and emerging scientific knowledge. While the world of medieval Europe might seem distant and unfamiliar to us today, it is a testament to the resilience and ingenuity of the human spirit.